Hello, you incredible friends. This is your pal Edward Zia speaking. Honored to be talking to powerful and brilliant CEO and General Manager Robert Horkings Edward Zia. How are you, Robert Horkings?
I'm fantastic, Ed, and again, thank you for inviting me on to have this conversation with you.
It's a pleasure, Robert. And I just want to say something funny last time. I got to give a big shout to Robert Horkings for many levels. So last time, I'm probably cursing myself bringing this up, but last time, my PC died during the stream, and Robert Horkings, you took it over and handled it like a pro. So I want to say thank you for that great saving the show last time.
Look, I hope we didn't get many glitches in between there, but I watched the video a few times with the live stream again, and I think we handled the situation quite well as professionals.
I know. Now, I've done about 20 live streams in between that. They've all been perfect, but that doesn't mean anything. You can die at any time. So I just want to say if it dies again, take over the show, Robert. Now, we're here to talk to Robert today about leadership and business networking. We're having a great chat off camera. And we're actually talking a bit about voice messaging people, be it you're talking to someone who's about to become a client, you're trying to recover something. Instead of just emailing people, isn't it easy to send people a voice message, be over LinkedIn or Facebook voice messenger? What do you think of that one, Robert?
Look, as business networking, I think more and more people now want to feel the heart of the person. I think, they want to see it in your eyes, see it in your mind to say, I really do care. And I think that's really critical these days that people understand that. And Ed, you're a professional at it. When I get yours, and you're my mentor, okay, and I love learning from your skills. And when I'm using this technology now, and I just said to you, Ed, that it's really redefined well now. You can send a really good voice message, and it comes through clearly. In comparison to that old email where to-ing and froing, and somebody gets upset over a word that you may have used, and like most situations, when you're dealing with a situation or a problem or a customer, or a person, you just type in quickly. You never sit and read it and go, you just hit that send button and you don't think about the words. The great thing in a voice message that I love, Ed, if I don't like what I'm about to send to you, I just re-record it again.
Yeah.
I don't even have to think about whether I know how to type the words. I just speak the words, okay? So I think the voice messaging is the next generation. And I just said to you that my customer support staff, I'm actually educating them now for 2024. That's what we're going to be implementing, that will send our customers a quick message to their mobile number and just say, hey, this situation's been sorted with. Hey, if you've got any further issues, please bounce a message back to me or email us on our support line.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny you say that because, voice messaging on LinkedIn, in all fairness, as much as I diss Facebook, the voice messaging quality on Facebook is fantastic as much as I diss Facebook. So credit where credit's due. I remember LinkedIn launched voice messaging about 2-3 years ago. And in all honesty, it sucked for a long time. But I think now LinkedIn's finally catching up. I agree with you. The technology is finally getting there, which is fantastic.
Yeah, technology has come a long way, but you look at what we're doing now, and this, StreamYard, this system that we're using here, it's state of the art. Really, it's come a long way compared to what we're doing 12 months ago, 24 months ago. We spoke about another app, okay, just before, Ed, that the system used to crash. If the host went, it used to go. It was pear-shaped. But they've had to stay and understand that technology, internet, your main backbone of the system. Okay, if we lose our internet, everything dies. But today I think the technology that we're using, not saying there's not better technology coming, but what we're using today is I think really state of the art. It's for business networking. It's making our job easier to stay connected and communicating with that customer, our client. A connection within a relationship that we may be building.
Just incredible, Robert. I just want to check in with our fans. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching us live. If you've just come in, connect with Robert Horkings and yours truly over LinkedIn. You can also be watching us on Facebook, Twitter, X, and YouTube too. The other thing as well, please say hello. If you've got any questions or thoughts, put in a comment. Now, Robert, we're talking a bit off camera about two different topics. You were talking to me about a model you have for business networking and also a model you have for planning next year. And I thought we'll go through both models in time. Can you tell us about that model you were telling me before we started. That's really good for business networking and thinking. Tell us about that model first, and then we'll hear about your planning thoughts for next year.
Yeah, look, it's really the model of making sure that we get ourselves prepared. We're in the last few days of the year, and this is time where you have to take the action now to plan. And a little bit like Zenzino, we've been growing at a rate of about 15 to 22% now per year over the last 18 years. So it's been great. We're now a 200 million euro company per year. Okay, publicly traded. The shares, I joined the company just on 5 years ago, so next month, 5 years. The share price was actually 14 SEK, Swedish krona, and it's trading at yesterday at 60 kroner. So that's what happens when you prepare and plan yourself for the growth that you're looking for. So a lot of people we don't say that message enough. And what I'm saying to you guys is wherever your business is, okay, you have to just take some time out. And a little bit like myself, guys, I've got all our budgets done, all our planning done, our goal sheets are ready, all that for all of our people in our community. We've given them the tools of trade to be able to follow what our vision is as a company. Because as you know, part of the whole process is on a yearly basis, it's getting your smart people, the people that you've employed that are working for you, or they're either working in a business network with you, to get those skilled people to do what's required to achieve your budgets of next year. And those successes, Ed, I mean, if you line them up correctly, I have the 7 Ps for them, okay? And it's very, very simple. And if you want some success, just take a couple of these, okay? If you don't want to use every one of them because it's reasonably detailed, but you've got to have persistence. Again, this company Zenzino, and I'll use Zenzino because I know it exceedingly well. 18-year-old company, grown at, let's call it 20% a year over year, now a 200 million euro. So that's about a 300 million Australian dollar business that these guys have created through a very, very simple oil product, an omega oil product. But the star of the show is our testing device, our balance test for the omega fatty acids, okay? So they built this massive business globally. But Ed, we're shipping in 100 countries, but we're only officially open in 43 countries. So we've still got like 50 plus countries to go. So we know already, based on our history, that we'll become probably a $600 to $800 million company in the next 3 to 5 years. Persistency. It took persistence and patience. Make sure you have your patience in doing it. Some people say, why haven't I achieved it today? Yeah. Well, if you put the right foundations in, okay, it will work for you. It will work, okay? Again, the patience and making sure the system, staying positive.
And if I can jump in there, and I was actually saying this off camera as well, and this is the biggest thing that we've learned about our business, right? And I know, Robert, you couldn't agree more on this one, and I'd love to say it publicly, is that any time in my business, anytime I haven't reached out to people, where I've just put out content, relied on my followers and say, where's all the business should come to me, my business has always stagnated or shrunk. Whenever I've reached out to, let's say, at least 50 people a day, for argument's sake, right? Now, often I do, right? If I reach out to at least 50 people a day, which I do, that's when the business actually grows. And that's the biggest thing that I've learned is if I'm not continually reaching out to people, my business doesn't go anywhere. Can you tell us more about that, about your viewpoint, perhaps people in your network? Can you unpack that one a bit more? Because I'm having this conversation a lot with people lately.
Yeah, I think keeping that connection of communication with your business network, making sure that people understand that you're always there to help them. Remember, the person, and let's call it a sale, okay? You can call it, unwrap it however you want to unwrap it. We're in sales. Everybody in business is in sales. They don't realize. Ed, you didn't want to be a salesman, but guess what you do 50 times a day? You're a salesman. Okay?
Yeah, it's a bit like it's like those flat earthers who deny gravity, right? It's like you can deny gravity all you want, but if you jump off a building, you're probably going to go splat.
Correct, and that's what we're talking about, is this understanding that if you're connecting, communicating and being that person with the information on a daily basis. Remember, most people will buy from people that they hear from all the time. They very rarely buy from an unknown source. Why? Because they know, like, and trust you. Very, very important, okay? So when people know, like, and trust you, okay, that's when the gold happens, okay? The sale will happen, because most people would like to go back to a general place of purchasing where they know, like, and trust the person, then go and actually explore, and then have to rebuild a new relationship, hope that the delivery is going to go right, and so on. So I find what I'm doing with, and for an example, Ed, with my wellness professionals, I'm similar to you. I'm going to say every 3 days, I'm starting to message them. I've been breaking the cycle. I've been doing texting. So I went from email, which I found that they were getting jammed in spam filters and all that type of stuff. And nothing against email, okay, for legal reasons. But texting started working well, but then I had to read it and make sure I corrected it all correctly. This time, and I've been just testing doing these voice messages, and they can feel it in my heart that I want to do business with them. And a message I just sent a wellness professional up in Queensland, Sunshine Coast, and I said, I truly appreciate you for being part of our business here at Zenzino. They sent me back a message and said, you know, you're one of the only suppliers in our industry that has sent me a personalized message like that.
Yeah.
Where would they go to buy when they go to order the next lot of testing devices, or balanced oil or omega oils? There's, as you know, there's plenty of omega oils. Whether they all work or not, that's not up for debate at the moment. But she could place orders on other companies. But I know that person, and that's a perfect example of I've now crossed the bonding line where she is bonded to my business because of just a quick thank you note at the right time of year.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, it makes sense from a customer point of view, because, like, reversing the conversation for a moment, like, so putting aside you and thinking about her, right? She knows if she buys from you and let's say there's a problem, right? Let's say not your fault, something goes wrong with the delivery, blame Australia Post. She knows you'll fix it. She knows 100%. It's guaranteed if she works from you. Whereas let's say she goes to someone else, and let's say, even if it's half the price, how is she guaranteed to even get the delivery? How is that going to work? And a good example is with airlines. So, for example, you're a platinum with, what was it, Emerald? Is it? Sorry. Yeah, la. Anyway, Robert's a powerful man. I'm a platinum flyer with Virgin Airlines, and likewise, we've had a lot of trouble in Virgin Airlines, a lot of strikes and stuff going on in Virgin Airlines. Whilst that's bad, the airline has bent over backwards looking after me. So you're right, when you have that relationship with someone, in a way, it's a guarantee of performance, isn't it?
Well, it's interesting because the founder of that company, actually said publicly the other day, if the staff continue with their actions, he'll close the airline down because it's on the brink of bankruptcy. So that, again, just fascinates me. And this is teams of people. I know people deserve money for working, they're rewards for effort. But sometimes, after that crazy 3-year speed bump we had, there's a little bit like we did here at Zenzino. We had like 180 staff on board. We then brought that back down to 140. We had to terminate about 40 people globally. But, Ed, doing that 18 months, 2 years ago, saved the company because we're zero debt today, and we've always been a debt-free company. But it maintained that we would be debt-free by shrinking and saying to the people in the company, you want to keep this company alive, we have to work together hard for the next number of years. And that's sort of what Branson said online. Guys, let's work together. This is your job. I don't need the money. He doesn't need the money. If that wing of the company went bankrupt, he knows he's got protection all the way through. So, it's a little bit, Ed, like the service they're giving. And I have to give even old Qantas, and yes, they give me 1A all the time, and I appreciate their thought. And that's great. It's like you, when they give you the business. But it's when they do recognize you, and that's what I'm noticing more. The older days, and it's pre-COVID, they used to notice you flying a lot. Okay, so you'd sort of hit the same cruise. If you're doing the same routes at the same time,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
see the same people. And
Yeah.
I really noticed that they're really going that extra mile now to match the Virgin. Again, Virgin setting the targets. Now the other competition has, if they want the money, they're going to have to keep on going to keep the customer service. But I'm noticing when I get on board, the gratitude of me, just saying thank you for flying with us. I appreciate you being on board. What is wrong with you guys? You used to be cranky and angry.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. I've spoken to a lot of people who left Qantas for Virgin, and they say to me two things. Like Virgin's half the price, right? So Virgin's about half the price of Qantas, right? So basically a business seat in Virgin will be that of an economy seat in Qantas, right? Which is fine.
Yeah.
But then the second thing they say is Virgin is just nicer, yes, the lounge isn't as good. Yes, it's not a premium airline like Qantas, but the people are just nicer. So it's funny you're saying that because it sounds like Qantas has certainly got the memo, and now they're working hard on winning people back.
Well, I think what happened, and you've just got to look at and again, nothing against what I'm about to say, but the age group. So the ones that were hired at Virgin are a younger stance, and they've been educated. They've been trained the system correctly. In other words, duplication of the company system. As where Qantas in the earlier days, which again, you look at the age group of the staff, is now either 40-ish or older. Okay, there's a few younger ones getting on the flights. Okay, but that's half the problem. And we talk about we can always teach an old dog new tricks, but sometimes if the mental capacity is not in the openness to learn, you just be the person you are. But again, it's that age group, I think, that work for the company that really identify the differences. And look, I've flown Virgin a couple of times, and if I could leave the Qantas program, and I'm a life member with them, so 30 years ago I brought a life membership, so I'm always going to have my status no matter what. It's the old days. You can't buy them today. 30 years ago, they were selling them for $20,000 or something stupid.
Wow.
And at that price, I just purchased one because that gave me a life membership at my status, gives me my upgrades, gives me everything when I'm flying internationally, all that type of stuff. So that's half the reason why I won't move. And yes, it drives me crazy, Ed, when I look at the ticket pricing and I say I could save $200 or $300 on a flight, so a return flight on the other airline versus my airline that I fly. But
but then saying what you said before, you've got that relationship with them, and you have like so you get upgraded to the hill, and you've got that relationship with them.
Yeah, and it is. It's that there's only one level higher than me in their picking chain. So there's only one person that will get that 1A before me. Okay, so it's a good thing to know that when I don't get 1A, I know that person's a higher standard than what I am.
Well, we're gonna have to hunt that person down, and there you go. No, just kidding. There you go. Not threatening anyone. There we go. Hunt them down. No, that's incredible. So I want to ask you as well, and this is just incredible. So, and to our wonderful fans, if you just come in, smash that like, share, and comment. Say hello. Connect with Robert Horkings. We always say as well, Jeff Bezos looks like Robert Horkings, which is very, very cool. And I was just going to say as well, Robert Horkings. So I get asked all the time, right? And I know this more relates to the sort of networking side of things. I get asked all the time. People say to me, they said, Ed, my business, I'm either starting in my business or my business has just stagnated, Ed. And one of my first questions is, how many people are you speaking to every day? And the answer is usually them looking away, getting nervous and scratching their ear and saying, I'm barely speaking to anyone every day, right? Two questions for you. How do people get there? How do people start a business and then wind up in the place when they don't speak to anyone? How do they sort of mentally slide there is question one. And question two is, how do you get people out of that position so they really start growing again? What are your thoughts on that one, Robert?
My thoughts is that a lot of people forget the why. The why they actually started the business, why they're in the business they're doing, why they took the job that they're doing. And again, if you're employed, okay, I always say to people, and it's a little bit hard for, I'm a consultant with the company, okay, so I'm here on a monthly basis with them, educating and doing what I do, similar to yourself. You're self-employed, Ed, okay? You're doing this because it's your business. I've always stayed the consulting role basically most of my life, because then the ownership of my responsibility on why I'm doing it is every morning I wake up, I get paid to have a great day.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, my why is very important. Now, if you are employed, or even if you do own your business, when you put your feet on the ground, if you don't love what you're doing, you got a couple of choices. You either have to change your attitude and your vision of what you're doing in the company, and a company can change direction at any given time. Remember, Benzino 18 years ago was a coffee company. 13 years ago, we became a essential fatty acid oil company, an omega-3 oil. So we changed directions. Zenzino means small portion of coffee, okay, in Italian. That's what Zenzino means. So now we say it's a small
Side
portion.
note,
Yeah.
can you still get? Do they still have coffee available, or is that just in the relics of history?
It's 0.5% of our sales volume now. So when we just joked actually last month, what we used to do, okay, back 12, 13 years ago, a year, we now did in November. November's sales was our second biggest year in the history of the company, okay? And what we did in November was actually more than what we did when we first started the Balanced Oil Company, or the Balanced Test Company.
Wow, just incredible.
But getting back to your vision, so getting to know your why, know what you want to do with yourself and your company and your staff, because poor leadership, Ed, if you walked out into your office in the morning and you just started talking blah, blah, blah to your machine, okay, or to all your voice messages, people can hear it in your voice. People can see it in your eyes, okay? Yeah. And I always say, when I'm on Zoom and I'm doing business, people always say, why don't you have more than one shirt? No, I have 7 of these shirts and I wear them every day because I'm doing a lot of online work these days. And it's live happy. I tell people, and they read it and go, what do you mean live happy? And this conversation starter is just crazy, okay? And it's an organization in the USA called livehappy.com. But I grabbed hold of this as a campaign to start business networking, to start my business relationships or conversations with people as well. But I know my why. I know when I wake up in the morning, I know my why. I know what I've got to do every day and what I've got to produce for the company. That transcends then down the line to the people that are working with me on a daily basis. They know I'm always high. Very rarely they'll phone me unless there's a disaster, and I'm a very type of guy. If I've got a disaster happening around me, I don't take phone calls. I fix the disaster. Just need to fix the disaster a little bit. And I'll give you an example. Last month was a massive...
Me too on that one. Just to jump in, I couldn't agree with you more. Like, a lot of people said, Ed, why are you so happy all the time? Well, my answer is, when I'm not happy, I don't take phone calls. I get myself happy, then call back people later. I couldn't agree with you more. I think taking phone calls when you're emotionally compromised or unhappy is a recipe for disaster.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Your mind's not in the game, and you'll say something, again, a word that will then tick off the other person to say, well, what do you mean by that? And you might have just said it because you wanted to be short on the phone. Okay, but we as a company, okay, here in Australia, we did that much volume last month. Wow. Australia Post is literally, and you said it before, they're about 10 to 12 days behind in deliveries at the moment. Now, we're normally 3 to 5 days, and it's a disaster. I mean, like yesterday I was at the warehouse, okay, and literally, I've got hundreds of orders there. I had the Australia Post van turn up last Friday as an example. We filled his van up with every order we could. There was about 60 orders still sitting on the dock, and he drove off and left them there. I wanted to put him on his front seat everywhere. I said to the staff, just put them in that van. And we lost the weekend for those 60 customers We lost the weekend of transport, but that formed a little disaster. I knew it was going to happen on Monday. So we communicated with people, but taking control of the scenarios as they happen, always being positive when you're on the phone.
Wow, so it's amazing. It sounds like you're a logistics guy almost. It sounds like you're the CEO of a big like of a massive cosmetic company. Your problem's logistics these days. So signing up customers isn't your issue, is getting the product out to them in one piece. So again, you sound like a cosmetics company. Logistics is your number one issue right now.
It's called Australia Post, but it's two or three favourite brands in the world, and Telstra, Australia Post, Commonwealth Bank. You mentioned those three names. I don't know why people hate them so much, but it's just But I send a lot of packages through AP, Australia Post, and we have But think about their business as well, Ed.
Yeah.
How can you predict from where that speed bump in life took everybody from offline to online?
Yeah.
Okay, you can't. I don't care how clever, and I find it shameful that CEOs are sacked for it, like the outage with Optus the other day. Do you think that CEO sat in her office and said, "Let's just have a 10-hour outage"? That was not on her toll sheet. Yes, she could have got it up quicker. Yes, the contingencies and redundancies could have been better. But to see people sacked over it, I just laugh at that, because it's crazy.
I think where she went wrong, right? And again, I'm trying to, and by the way, a lot of people hate her, so I'm trying to look through the misinformation, look at it objectively. But I think this is where she went wrong, right? So let's say the outage. So it is what it is. All companies, LinkedIn has had outages, right? So I can't sit here and say, oh, and Telstra's had outages. Telstra had a 4-hour. I could be wrong. It was like a 3-hour outage about 8 months ago or something, right?
Correct.
But I think where and bring it back to what you said earlier, in a way she violated what you said, because in your case, you've got, not your fault, but you've got a logistics issue that you're dealing with, and you're getting at the head of the issue and working with your customers. She didn't. I looked at that very closely. She just sat, I don't know what the perception was. I'll give you this answer. The perception was she was doing nothing, and that's what enraged people. If she came out, all she had to say was, "This is awful. We're on it. We're going to get to the bottom of this." They probably would have saved her job.
Yeah, she could have used the media channels. Like, she couldn't communicate to her customers, number one, so that was an issue. Okay, but she could have used the news channels to say, "Hey, which they all turned into a negative, the news links, and that's what they get paid to do. Yeah. Negative news sells, positive news doesn't sell." Yeah. Okay. There's very rarely you see news about people, saving charities and giving millions of dollars away to people.
Unless it's propaganda. They're only positive. They're positive about, it's funny, as a guy who knows this topic very well, right? Ex-AFP, of course. News media are only positive, and it's usually propaganda. So they're positive about an issue that they want you to endorse.
Correct. Yeah, correct. So if she had have done that, absolutely right. But it's interesting on people taking control of things, and understanding that they need to take control and give the answers.
Just on that thought experiment, and please tell me I'm wrong if I'm wrong, because I've been wrong a lot lately. And I was having this conversation, because again, we're all in the, to be full disclosure, we're on the pro Telstra up yours Optus club. So I hate Optus, but as a thought experiment, I thought, if she came out in the morning and said, "This is awful, I'm so sorry, I'm working with our top engineers right now, we're going to get to the bottom of this, and we love our customers," if she just said that, would that have saved her job? I reckon the answer would be yes. What do you think, Robert?
I totally agree. Again, they need to use those mainstream media lines. When your whole network's down, you've got to go public. Yeah. Saying nothing is not the answer. Okay, being public and being on every news channel would have been the solution.
Why do you think? I've got my own opinion, but I want to hear yours, because yours is more interesting. Why do you think she didn't do anything? Why did she go all Fifth Amendment and say nothing?
I think she was being advised again. And there's from the CEO, you have all this layer of smarter people. Jack Ma says it. Okay, from Alibaba, he said, why was Alibaba so successful when he put the whole program together? He employed smarter people than himself.
Yeah.
So the people that are in the food chain below, okay, the pyramid below, okay, so she's the CEO down to the next level, next level. As they were going down that line, they were saying, you know, well, this is happening. We're trying this. We're testing this. And, you know, again, she should have just said, guys, I need to overrule everybody. I know I pay you guys to give me the answers I need to speak, but I need to use a bit of smartness on this. I think, and here's the key word in business or business networking as well. You got to be street smart.
Yeah.
So many people, okay, live by the books, okay. They live it because in this book it says do this, this, and this, okay. But sometimes, and Ed, you know, you've been in commercial business long enough as well, like myself, and I'm very well known for being street smart.
Yeah, you are.
Evaluate a situation, make a decision, and then go for it. Act on it. Okay. And I think that's what happened. She was waiting. And as the hours went on, it just got worse.
Yeah, because I think what it does was, again, she was probably told by people incorrectly smarter than her to keep your mouth shut and basically go Fifth Amendment so nothing can be used against you later. But that just created such a PR disaster that cost her probably a job and career, which is fascinating.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad for whether she was a good CEO or what. Again, I'm one of those guys. I have an each way bet, just so you know, Ed. I have my home internet on Optus. Okay, I have my mobile data with Virgin, with Vodafone. Okay, and my mainstream is all Telstra. So if anything goes down, I'm back. If the whole three go down, I'm done. But I've always got access.
Yeah, on a funny note, I had a field day because I'm anti-Optus and pro-Telstra, and I was like, yeah, eat this. It was really funny. There you go. But I gotta say, Robert, we've had an amazing half an hour together. We've got past half an hour, but I could chat to you all day, of course. Now, friends, just to come in, if you're here live or watching the recording, please hit that like, share, comment. We're streaming to Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter X. Please connect with Robert on LinkedIn or even Facebook. He's a top guy. Now, Robert, just to finish up, can I get some closing thoughts about you and just tell us quickly about how people can join the Zenzino team and build their own business and create their own opportunities in life?
Oh, guys, look, connect with me. Being the beginning of a new year, next year, 2024. If you're looking for a change or you're looking for something to add to your income stream, obviously as somebody that wants to make some money out of a program, we're one of those great programs. We're not the rah-rah teams. We don't go out there and do the happy clapping and all that type of stuff. We're a very commercial-based business, but we're a very, very customer-orientated business. So our business is built on customers. 620,000 customers now globally in 43 countries. 28,000 partners, so people out there that are building and earning income from the business. Just on 6,000 wellness professionals globally now supporting our products. So, we've got a good spread of business. And if you see that, that's part of what you want to do, or it could be, you want to earn another 1,000 a month, 10,000 a month, 100,000 a month. I can show you numbers on where you can earn any of those numbers. Again, you tell me how much you want to earn. I'll tell you what you need to do to earn that type of income on a weekly or a monthly basis here at Zenzino. But it's a safe haven. The great thing that I have to say is Zenzino, in our region, I've built a very, very safe haven for all of my people that are earning income from our company. And then if you go globally, yes, we're a global organization as well as a company. And globally, it's publicly traded. Globally, we've got support centers around the world. It's one of those companies that is a highly consumable product that people use on a daily basis and reorder on a monthly basis. Backed up, the great thing about Zenzino is if we can't test it, we never sell it to you. We can't test it, doesn't work. Whether it works on you, yes or no, we don't sell it to you. So again, if a consumer purchases our balanced oil, there's a backup test so you can test your own blood system to see whether the product's working. Our vitamin D, our diabetes test is exactly the same thing. We will test you and tell you whether our products are working. So that just gives peace of mind to the consumer, Ed. Hence, 600,000 plus customers every day that's using our product, reordering our products on a monthly basis. It's an incredible operation or organization for anybody to get involved with. Are we one of those money games? Absolutely not. Okay. Can you earn money fast? Well, I always say to people, if it took you 2 years to build 10,000 a month, hey, that's fast money. Most people will agree.
That's a good 2 years. I'd take that 2 years. No problem with that.
Yeah. So it's a great opportunity for people if they want to get in there. But we're finding a lot of community people. So this business networking that we're talking about, guys, they used to call them communities on Facebook, but now it's like people have no issues people sharing products in Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, all these type of communities that are out there. They're all just people doing the same thing, wanting to fix the world. In other words, as we know, 97% of the world is out of balance, so they have the incorrect omega balances. We know we have an issue that we can rectify with everybody out in the world. So these communities they're everywhere now, and people are buying products all the time online.
Oh, Robert, thank you so much. Amazing. Everyone connect with Robert. Robert, thank you for your time. I know you're a busy man, and I just want to say to you and your wonderful team and company, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and to our wonderful followers as well. We love
the community that you put out there, because it's a pleasure to deal with professional business people on a daily basis. And my community follows your networking people as well, and it's just great to co-work with each other, use each other's skill sets, learn off each other all the time. There's some incredible podcasts that are happening. Dr. Scott, for example, up in Brisbane. Okay, Karen up in Brisbane doing podcasts. All these people are sharing really, really great information, and it's all free. You can listen to it. It's free live streaming, and it's available to you from professional people. So, Ed, thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you. Love your work, everyone. Thank you all, Robert. You're awesome. Bye, everyone. Happy holidays.
Hey, guys. Have a great break.